promises. We see the Lord speaking to Jacob at this point. So let's move on. When Jacob awoke from his sleep, verse 16, he thought, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. He was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. Early the next morning, Jacob took the stone he had placed under his head and set it up as a pillar and poured oil on top of it. The stone that he took and put akatumia ka pillow, right? We are told he put it chini ya kichwa so that he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. So we are seeing the same stone. He's using it. He's pouring oil on top of it, and he's setting it up as a pillar. He was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven, the place that he was. Early the next morning, Jacob took the stone he had placed under his head and set it up as a pillar and poured oil on top of it. He called that place Bethel, though the city used to be called Louis. Bethel means house of God. Then Jacob made a vow saying, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's household, then the Lord will be my God, and this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house, and of all that you give me, I will give you a tenth. This is a vow he's making with God, a vow between Jacob and God. If God does all this and enables him to go back to his father's household and he was safe, that stone that he has set up as a pillar, he will use it to give a tenth back to God. We all remember what a tenth is, right?
Yes.
A tithe. So as I was reading this chapter, I learned a few things about the character of Jacob and the character of Esau. First, we're seeing Esau anafuatilia sana blessing from his father, forgetting God. He's looking forward to get blessings from his biological father and forgetting his maker, the creator of heaven and earth. But we are also seeing Jacob follow instructions. Whatever God tells him to do, he does. Whatever his father tells him to do, he does. So, it is also good as Christians in this life, it is also good to seek after what God says. Sio kufuata the possession of the earth pekee. We tend to fuata mali or to seek a lot of things and forget God. Yet he tells us that if we seek him first, all these other things will be added to us, right?
Yeah.
So we've seen Jacob not running away necessarily. We've seen him going to get away from the side of his mother. And now he has a dream at Bethel. And this place, he took a stone and put under his head to rest. While at that place, he dreamt. Many a times as Christians, so hapa tunaona, unaimagine kuwekelea kichwa kwa mawe ndio ulale usiku. It's so uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. So it's like he was not in his comfortable place, right? It was not comfortable for him. So many a times as Christians, we find ourselves in uncomfortable circumstances or situations, different challenges of life. Yes? So we all find ourselves in uncomfortable places in the middle of our journey, and that is where God will meet us. So hapo katikati ya the difficulty or the challenges that you have, that is where God will meet with you. That is where God met with Jacob in a dream. You all remember that we read, and we see all the promises that God is telling Jacob. Atamfulfillia each and every promise that he has said. Your descendants will be like dust of earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north